everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Awesome Sunday Show. Connor here.
And Pat.
So Pat, we have to, before we announce anything, we kind of have to make a little bit of an apology.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So we promised a very special episode Sunday, and we didn't follow through, but it wasn't completely our fault, though. Actually, it wasn't really our fault at all. We had everything ready.
Right. We tried. We had it all set up, ready to go. It was a good idea. We were excited for it, and then we just had an infuriating tech issue.
For like 2 hours.
I spent like at least 2.5 hours trying to fix it.
All right.
And just got so frustrated, and it was taking myself away from the party. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, this is what happened. I had a party Sunday. It evolved into a party, let's say.
It was a barbecue that,
It was a barbecue that became a party. Not really, which is fine. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Literally, I want to do it again. I just like special shout out to everybody that came to the party and people that couldn't make it. It's all good. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being super respectful. People were talking to my parents, said, it was the most fun they had. So thank you very much.
Special shout out and thank you to you and your parents for hosting. You making some pretty good food. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
And good sangria.
Thanks. Yeah,
that was good.
Dude, that went. It's gone.
That did not last long at all.
No. How much did Becca have?
I think 1 cup, maybe 2 at the most.
Maybe a little more.
Probably like 10. Really.
Yeah. But yeah, so thanks for everybody who came out. So we tried doing a podcast on the party that I threw about California, the Blink-182 album. And our idea was, we had extra mics. We were going to have guests from the Middle Urinal, Phil and Matt, and also all our friends come on and talk about the album. Mm-hmm. For some reason, there was, like we said, there was horrible technical issues.
One mic picked up, except it sounded like we were talking through a walkie-talkie from like 1,000 miles away. That was just garbage. And then the other 5, we had 6 mics total. The other 5 just didn't pick anything up.
Yeah.
And then when I tried doing something to get the other 5 to pick up, the one that was kind of working stopped working.
It was awful. So annoying. We were really frustrated. And like at one point, I was just like, dude, Pat, like we're having a party, like just relax and let's just have fun. Like, it is what it is. We never miss. We've only ever taken break for holidays.
Yeah.
That's it. Besides that. And like even like when we go on vacation or one's leaving, like we try to record episodes. So like, you know what, we missed one. It's not a big deal, Yeah. Like it's not like we lost our groove.
Yeah, and that we were trying to make that one special instead of doing 2 last week. We wanted that to be the one because of what we had planned for it. So sorry.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's all good.
Yeah.
But how's your day going so far?
Good. It's been a pretty good day. How about you?
It's been all right. I got home from work. I still have my Best Buy uniform on. So last transaction I make with a customer, I'm activating a Boost Mobile phone. And one thing about Boost Mobile, I'll give them this. They're super easy to function for prepaid. Just not a fan of the service, but this guy come in, he's like, hey, I need a new phone. My dog ate my phone. I was like, oh, that's really funny. And he goes, no, seriously, my dog ate my phone, and whips out the phone, and there's just bite marks all over it. I was like, well, your dog sucks. So I'm talking to him, and he goes, yeah, he goes, thanks for doing this, man. Like, I know you're about to close up. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Like, actually, to be honest, he was kind of doing me a favor because me activating the phone was a lot easier than doing all the closing duties. So kind of was taking my time a little bit. Nice. So all of his buddies are there too, and they're all talking, and they're like, oh yeah, like, he's always like eating stuff. And I my sense of humor, and I look at him, I was like, oh yeah, maybe it's time to put the dog down. Oh god. And like I just was like, it just came out of my mind, and I was just like, shit, I shouldn't have said that. And like nobody laughed.
Yeah, that's not something you joke about.
Yeah, and I was just like, it was just a joke, and I just was like, oh shit, like I totally shouldn't have said that. So like I had like a total of like 15 minutes of like I'm the worst person on the planet, but then whatever. I activated the guy's phone and he was happy, and see you later. So that was the end of my day. But yeah, speaking of horrible and bad taste jokes, Blink-182, their new album California has a couple songs that have that type of humor. So we're actually going to continue with our idea. We've been trying to do this idea for like a week now.
Yeah.
Our review of California by Blink-182.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go into like our favorite songs we may like or might not like, what we think of the album overall. I think we should talk about what we think of Matt Skiba, what he brings to the band. Yep. So I know you have a particular favorite song, and I kind of would like you for you to start. We'll start with our favorite song. You want to do that?
Let's do overall impressions first.
Overall impressions first?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. So then, Pat, what's your overall impression of the album?
I really, really like it.
Good.
I think it's very good. Skiba fits in perfectly. Like, he is the most perfect choice for Tom's replacement they could have gotten. He's like a chameleon, just fit right in.
Yep. I agree.
I've liked Skiba. I'm a decent Alkaline Trio fan. I'm not hardcore into him, but I like him. I appreciate him, and Skiba's really talented. And yeah, man, he knocked it out of the park. And that's some big shoes to fill. It's a big legacy for him to fill into. Yeah, and he did a really good job.
He's like the Tom that they needed almost, because a lot of people were saying like, oh, like they're probably gonna go back to their roots now. They're gonna start doing more punk stuff, but it's actually, I feel like the album's very different.
It is different. You could still feel some and hear some of their older sound in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of Alkaline Trio in there.
Like Cynical's a very Alkaline Trio song.
Yeah. Some Plus 44, which I really like. There's some
that's what it reminds me more of.
Yeah, it reminds me more of Plus 44.
Plus 44. Yeah. Especially Bored to Death. That right. Song is very Plus 44.
Definitely. And it's really good. And a lot of these songs you could like tell, oh yeah, the classic Blink. But then they have some songs that are the least Blink songs they've ever written, but they're really fucking good. Even though like they're complete, if you would have told me it was Blink without me knowing, I wouldn't have believed you at first because of how different some of these songs are.
Yeah, they are. Some songs are very different.
Yeah,
not even like a familiar spin on them.
Right, just very different from their normal style.
Yeah.
And one of those songs, which actually is probably my favorite song on the album, is Los Angeles.
Yeah, I like Los Angeles a lot. It's not my favorite song. It's definitely like a good break after, because Bored to Death is the second one, and then it's
She's Out of Her Mind,
which is my favorite, and then I feel like Los Angeles kind of breaks it up because you got like the three punk songs, like the Alkaline Trio song, then the Plus 44, and then She's Out of My Mind, which is clearly very rock. It's the same song as the rock show.
Yeah.
It's the rock show, but it's my favorite song on the album. I don't care. And then it gets to something very different.
Yeah,
and it's cool.
Totally different.
The first four songs in the album kind of set the mood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and speaking of the first song, Cynical, great opener.
Yeah,
very good. My favorite part of that actually is when Travis fucks up. And you just hear him yell, ah, like he fucked up on one of the fills. And I just love how they kept that in.
Yeah.
Aside from it being a really good song in the first place.
They probably thought it sounded cool.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not surprised that they would keep it in because they're just like, fuck it, why not?
Yep.
That's usually how they do things for the most part anyway. And, on this album, there's, of course, most of these songs are very serious with some funny lines in there. But then, of course, they have like two they're not exactly interludes, especially because one ends the album, which I actually have a problem with. But Built This Pool, which is like a throwback to Blink's early humor. Mm-hmm. It's, 10, 15 seconds, something like that.
It's I'm pretty sure it's 15, like 15, 16. Yeah.
And the whole song is just I want to see some naked dudes. That's why I built this pool.
That's it.
And then you hear either Matt or Travis go, "Wait, that's it?"
Yeah.
Which again, very funny. And then at the end, Bohemian Rhapsody, which is 30 seconds, and there's something about you that I can't quite stick my finger in.
Yeah,
is the line in there.
I agree. I don't have a huge problem with it. I don't think it bothers me less than it bothers you.
I just really, it should have been like a later track, like maybe like somewhere between 10 and 13.
Yeah.
Like track like that. It's not an album ender, especially coming after California, which I think would have been the much better choice to end the album with.
Right, I agree. It should have been swapped.
Yeah,
especially because that song has such a great lead.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds awesome, and like I disagree as far as. I mean, I agree and disagree. I agree that it shouldn't be the last song on the album. I think I feel like that song could have been an easy 2-minute. Punk,
or they
catchy
made
punk
it,
song.
Yeah, if they made it a full song, that'd be fine. But since it's the 30-second joke song, I don't think it should.
It's just not a good finisher.
No, definitely not. And it, like I said, coming after California, I think California is a solid finisher. If you're gonna pick any song on the album to end with,
yep,
California would have been the one.
Yeah, and especially because I think this is their best album in years.
Yeah, I think it's honestly. I know Dentino disagrees, but I think it's better than Neighborhoods.
Yeah, I like it better than Neighborhoods, and I love Neighborhoods. There's not a Blink album I don't like.
Right. Neighborhoods is my least favorite.
See, I love Neighborhoods because I love Angels and Airwaves.
I'm not huge into Angels and Airwaves.
I have all of their music. I have all of Angels and Airwaves music, and Neighborhoods is very Angels and Airwaves. Goes
more
to the
Angels and
dance
Airwaves
floor
than anything.
Wishing Well is super Angels and Airwaves.
Yeah.
But even their singles on there, like Hearts All Gone is more Blink-182, but then you hear a song like After Midnight.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sounds like Blink still. Like when you listen to that song, like it's Blink. Like in your head, you're like, I know that's Blink. But Tom is writing it the way Angels kind of sounds.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of moved past Blank and was writing an Angels song, like an Angels album with Mark.
Exactly,
Mark and Travis.
And again, I love Angels and Airwaves, but I'm glad. I'm almost happy with this result because I want Tom to write more Angels and Airwaves stuff. I love that band.
Well, he's busy with on secret, important missions of national security with aliens. So.
I feel like he's screwing with us. Like I feel like he believes in aliens.
No, he does believe in aliens. They've had songs about it. Aliens exist.
Yeah, he believes in aliens. I know
he does, and he runs. He has like this online like news site about stuff like that. But I think there's a little bit of him fucking with people and a little bit of him not. I think that he's a known like jokester and prankster, but I'm sure there's a lot of that like UFO hunter in him that's like kind of pulling it both together.
Yeah.
Like clearly there's no way he would be involved in anything national security related or, world security related.
Yeah, he's screwing with us to a point.
Yeah. He's probably serious in him, investigating aliens on his own, with the resources he has, but yeah. But, there was a lot of pressure on Skiba, on Blink in general for this album, Mark and Travis, and then especially Skiba coming in to fill Tom's shoes, like one of the two founders of the band who's been in it, for every album. And, there's a lot of pressure on them to make this good without departing too much from classic Blink.
Yeah, and while there is some departing, it's welcome departing as far as like where the band was going.
Yeah.
I still think their best albums are self-titled from 2003.
I would agree. I would say their two best that's not California is definitely self-titled and then Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
For me, it's self-titled, Enema. I don't know. California. I feel like I don't want to put California up there because it's too early, but I really like it.
I like it a lot.
Like I love it. Like I think it's got to take. I think like if you ask me like a year from now, it'd probably be maybe like my top 3. Maybe 4.
Yeah. I think Take Your Pants Off and Jacket is better than Enema. Just like song structure and writing wise, like their talent is better on Take Your Pants Off and Jacket, but I enjoy Enema more.
Yeah.
You know, like there are movies, you know, it's like looking at a movie. I know it's like a great movie. It's really well done, and it could be better than a better movie than my favorite one, but my favorite one.
Right.
You know,
no, I get it.
That's how I view Enema and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
What do you think is your least favorite song on the album?
On
California.
Huh. Let's see. I'm not too huge. I'm actually not too big on She's Out of Her Mind. I don't hate it, but I'm not huge on it. And then I would say also Kings of the Weekend and The Only Thing That Matters. And I don't hate them. I'm just not huge on them.
I see. My only one is Kings of the Weekend. That like again, I don't hate it. It's just kind of like I'm like it's whatever.
Yeah, I usually skip over those ones.
Yeah.
She's Out of Her Mind less, but still. My other favorite, my two other favorites for sure, or I'll go three. Bored to Death, I think is great. That's one of my favorites. And then Sober and San Diego.
San Diego's awesome. I like Sober.
See, San Diego's another big departure from Blink's original sound, but it works out really well.
Yeah. And then you know what that song's about. Yeah,
that song is about Tom. It's been admitted. Even the producer of the album has said, yeah, Mark wrote it about Tom.
And it's not like a hate song.
No, it's not a hate song. It's, you know, it's about, you know, them growing apart and, you know, things changing so much that, you know, the band already kind of broke up once, you know, if you want to say hiatus, and then him actually leaving the band. That's what the song is about. It's not him like ripping on him or anything. But yeah, that song is definitely about Tom.
Yeah. I would say I think another one of my favorites is Teenage Satellites. Mm-hmm. I really like that song. That song hooks me in.
That song, yeah, it's very
catchy.
You're very catchy, and I think Skiba kills it on that.
Yeah. That's a Skiba song.
That's a Skiba song, and you know he's really good on the whole album. But I think that's his shining moment. Mm-hmm. That's his song that he shines on the most, because he gets to take the lead in that. You know, Mark has some songs that he leads more so than Skiba, and they also split a lot. You know,
well, the whole album, like, it's not like, and this is I feel like this is the biggest departure from Blink. And sorry to cut you off, and it's just. Every song includes both their voices.
Yes.
Whereas before they had that one song, and in the album it would be like one or two songs, maybe three of them both singing, and then it was a Mark song and a Travis song.
Kind of. That was really prevalent in Neighborhoods, but I think, you know, pretty much up to Enema, it was about half the songs on the album were split, like both of them would sing in them. And then the other half, one would take the lead over the other.
Yeah, and then, but like
Neighborhoods especially, that's, you can tell the huge contrast in that. Like every other song was a Tom song, and then the other one was a Mark song.
Yeah, I mean, you start off with the self-titled, with both Mark and Tom singing. Same thing with Ghost in the Dance Floor is just Tom, and then Pathetic is Mark and Tom. So yeah, there's only really two albums where they start off with both of them singing. Mm-hmm. Most of the time it's just Tom that starts off the album, and then they split it off. But like but they're still half and half most of the time.
Yeah.
Whereas this one it's mostly just it's Matt and Mark just singing together in the song, which I like. I like that. It's very it
works.
Yeah, it works fine, and I think I'm glad they chose that. I'm glad they didn't just like, all right, he's replacing Tom. Here's your own song. It's
right.
Hey, like, this is kind of a new member. Like, let's see. I feel like he was in on the writing.
Yeah,
of it.
Yeah, he was, and you know, it's good. It worked out well because it's, you know, because Skiba's like a great singer, and you know, Mark's very good. But they really build off each other and bounce off each other well when they're switching it up on the songs. Mm-hmm. I think they did a really good job at that. And another reason I'm glad that they chose Skiba is because he's a really good singer live.
Yes.
And in fact, he's a much better singer live than Tom is. There are shows where Tom was very good, but overall, he's not the strongest live singer. And that, you know, Mark does have some faults with that too, but I think even Mark is a better live singer than Tom.
Well, I think Mark's just a better singer. Like, remember, for years, Tom didn't really sing. He just kind of sang. Like, he sang, but he's not a good singer. Right. But that was the appeal. Like, you didn't care.
Yeah, because they were awesome. Yeah, they were awesome, and they were put on a good show, and like they even said, we're crappy, pop punk. Yeah. Punk rock, whatever.
And then, like, then with Angels and Airwaves, Tom got better at singing, and he sounds great on the album. And I don't know, I've seen Tom sing live like 4 times.
Yeah.
Tom DeLonge, now of Angels and Airwaves, formerly Blink-182. And 2 of them were on point, like solid. And then the other 2 was very, eh.
Yeah, the times I've seen him have been split, but mostly eh.
Yeah, it's hard to do that voice that he does. Yeah, I don't know if that's his natural singing voice.
In a way, on some albums, I don't know, but yeah, he's certainly not the best, and I think he does better in smaller venues. Like when I saw Blink at Starland the last time they were in Jersey doing that.
Oh yeah, I was at that show.
Yeah, he was much better in that show than he was at PNC, and then when I saw him at Revel.
Well, he didn't he wasn't doing that voice he does with Angels and Airways. I think he was just singing. Like, he's still kind of doing it, but not really. And you even hear it in Neighborhoods a little bit too with Up All Night.
Yeah.
He kind of has where he belts it out, you kind of hear like the old Tom voice, and then he goes back into like the Angels Tom.
Right.
And I like that in Angels and Airwaves. I don't miss it in Blink.
Oh yeah, me neither. I definitely don't. And it's not that I hate Angels and Airwaves. I'm just not that into them.
I do love them. I'll admit it. They're one of my favorite bands.
They're my least favorite Blink spinoff, if you want to call them that. But
what's your favorite?
Plus 44.
Plus 44 would be my favorite, but they only ever put out one album.
Well, so did Boxcar.
Yeah, and Boxcar is actually my least favorite.
See,
it's still amazing.
Yeah, no, Boxcar is great, but the reason I like Plus 44 more than Boxcar is because the Plus 44 album from front to back is much more consistently good, whereas Boxcar album, there's some really good songs on there, but then there's also a couple duds.
Absolutely.
That kind of takes you out, and that I really rarely listen to.
No, I agree. There's songs I skip on Boxcar. Much more, and you're right. The Plus 44, they're self-titled consistently that's a cover to cover album. I can listen to every song on that, no problem. Baby Come On is incredible. I love that song.
Very, very good.
But I don't know, with just Angels and Airwaves, there's Love and Love Part 2 I can listen to front and back. I think those are great, and every other album has it's got its gems. Their EPs are great. I just think just because of the amount of music they've released, if Plus 44 was still together and Blink never got back,
right,
and Plus 44 was releasing albums along with Angels and Airwaves, I would probably say Plus 44 is my favorite, but it's just the fact that they only ever did one album.
True. Yeah. Yeah, well, at least, we got kind of Plus 44.
No, I feel like we kind of did. I feel like this is Plus 44. And you know what? I got to say something. Screw all the haters that are saying Blink's done, because I think they're more popular now than they've been in years.
Yeah.
Just because of all the talk of the album and everything like that. Again, and going back to Best Buy, I was activating this guy's phone the other day, and we actually were bringing up to California the album, and he goes, "Yeah, I heard it was awful," and I was like, "Really? I love it." And he goes, "Yeah, but it's not." He's like, "Tom's not in it," and I was just like, "Yeah, okay." Tim Burton makes movies without Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
well,
I wouldn't use that kind of comparison, but
he does.
No, I know that, but I mean, because I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan to begin with. But,
well, I like.
But yeah, it's
and then I was just like, yeah, but dude, it sounds just like Plus 44 in a lot of aspects. Not obviously not most of them, but in a lot of them. And he goes, "What's Plus 44?" And I was like, well, you are not a huge Blink fan, or you're not a true fan, or you're a fan, but you don't really know what you're talking
You're
about.
missing out on something.
Yeah, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Tom. Just because Tom's not in Blink, I think a lot of people just assumed, yeah, it's not going to be good because it's not going to be the same because Tom's not in it. But that's happened several times in bands, and like even on some TV shows when one of the main actors leaves, a lot of the shows still stay good.
Yeah,
and,
that didn't
they
happen
make
in
it
The
up.
Office.
The last season, Office picked it up. It did struggle, but The Office was struggling before Steve Carell left. But even then, like, you get somebody qualified enough or talented enough to fit in, to fill in that spot, and it works out. Like with Skiba.
Yeah, let's extend the olive branch a little farther, Pat. Let's look at your favorite band, AC/DC.
They're not my favorite band, but okay.
No, they're your favorite band. And Bon Scott died in, I think, 1981 or 82 or whatever, the early 80s. And that was AC/DC's lead singer. Mm-hmm. He was there for all the hits. Like when they got huge from Australia, huge in the States, huge in Europe. He was always there, and he died. And they got a singer to replace him. You know how many more albums they've put out and how much more of an active band they've been? They've never stopped.
They're up to like 20-something albums or something ridiculous.
They should be dead, but they're not. Which is great. I'm glad these guys can keep playing music. And they're fine. And like people just have to relax. Things change. It's just the fact that people just don't like change.
Right. And we can go use this your favorite group, One Direction. I don't know if they're still together, but after that one guy left, they still went on a little bit, and they might be on break now or something, but you would know.
I don't know. I mean, you would know about the Jonas Brothers if they're ever getting back together.
I was already in the Jonas Brothers, so it's fine. When I was younger.
Yeah, you were in the Jonas Brothers. You are a Jonas Brother.
I was Joe Jonas. True story, I actually signed an autograph for a little girl as Joe Jonas because she really believed I was that, and her mom asked me to.
That girl's going to grow up and be like, Mom, why did you lie to me?
Yeah, she's going to see pictures of that party and be like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Or, wow, Joe looks really different. One of those.
He's a lot more Irish than I imagine. I kind of want to go into just a segue into my favorite song on the album. She's Out of Her Mind. I freaking love that song. It's so catchy. I throw it on all the time. I always thought like The Rock Show was probably one of the better Blink-182 singles.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of like wanted to hear that song, not as much as people. There's people out there, there's people out there that are just like, oh, it's their single. Of course people like it. And they're just kind of like, oh, it's a single. I hate that song because it's a Blink-182 single. It's like, dude, it's a single. Like, it's huge. It's obviously a good song. Like
that's also a common thing. Like, people will hate on the singles just because they're singles, even though a lot of times singles are still really good.
Some of my favorite songs are singles.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason why it's a single. It's because it's a fucking good song.
Yeah. It's
awesome. And that's The Rock Show. That's an awesome song. And like, I kind of wanted to hear like it written, but not in a single format, where even though this kind of does follow that exact format, it's not treated as a single.
Right.
And like, I feel like the song is better than The Rock Show.
It's a better version of it.
It's a much better version as far as when it comes to the sound. Obviously, lyrically, it's very different. The Rock Show is about a girl he just is crazy about. Mm-hmm. She's out of her mind. Well,
the girl's crazy.
The girl's crazy. It's still about a girl though, because pop punk. Mm-hmm. I just think it's super catchy. It's super well written. I love Skiba, what he adds to the song, and I think that's what really gives it like the cooler edge to it.
Yeah.
It's just good. And then my second favorite, Cynical.
Cynical is very, very good.
Yeah, where he's just like, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. And like, dude, like that line itself just like pumps me up.
Uh-huh.
It's great. I'm probably going to listen to the album tonight now.
I've been listening to it every day.
Yeah, I've listened to it almost every day. I put it on for the party. Yeah. And like no one complained about it front to back.
Absolutely not. They were asking for it.
Yeah. They were asking for it.
Yeah, that and your hardcore gangster rap playlist.
That wasn't mine. That was Cassidy's.
Oh.
Yeah. One thing about Cass is like, dude, I had a playlist of the party, and like halfway through, he's like, "Yeah, I'm putting on rap music." I'm like, "All right." And he just starts getting groovy.
Oh yeah, he gets down.
Yeah, every party we've had since we were in high school, Cass is just like taking the playlist and put on what he wants.
Yeah. And it works out.
It's fine. If the party likes it, the party likes it.
Yeah, he knows good stuff. He's able to read the room like that. He's like, I know what people will like.
Yeah, he can do it. I trust him with it.
Yeah.
Pat has his Pokemon Go up, of course.
I do. I gotta, keep it open just in case there's something good around. We should do a Pokemon Go episode, by the way.
We should.
But yeah, Pokemon Go is dope. Today I was actually really pissed because I was sitting at home on my couch and I got a vibration from the thing, and it was an Electabuzz. Its power level, its CP was like 325 or something. I was able to throw 5 Pokeballs on it before it ran away. I was pissed. The only Electabuzz I found. But yeah, Pokemon Go is addicting. It's fun, and we'll do an episode on it, but it's a good time.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's taking over people's lives.
Yeah.
World peace because of Pokemon Go.
It could, man. Could be. Today I saw a picture of this soldier who's in an ISIS combat, like a Marine unit that's specifically targeting ISIS, and he was catching Pokemon waiting.
Oh, it wasn't an ISIS soldier.
No, it wasn't an ISIS soldier.
Okay, I was going to say, dude, because ISIS is so against the West world.
No, it was a Marine in an anti-ISIS unit, or like specifically for that instead of a general. Mm-hmm. And they were at some point like waiting or something, or had just cleared it out or something, and he caught like a haunter or something. He goes on the front lines of wherever, still catching Pokemon, waiting for these pussies to show up or something like that.
That's great. It's an all ages thing.
It is. Yeah. And it's huge. It's had more users than Twitter has ever.
Within like a week.
It's been released in like a week at the most. It's been more downloaded than it's exceeded Tinder's downloads, and it netted Nintendo an increase in profit revenue by like almost 10 billion.
10 billion?
Yeah.
Because their stocks went up like 32%.
Yeah. After this game. That's crazy.
That's insane, dude.
For a freemium game.
And it's awesome too, because like 2 years ago they were so anti-mobile.
Yeah. And
like this year they're like, we're gonna change the game.
Exactly. Oh yeah, man, they changed it. Yeah.
Even their first mobile game, Miitomo, was like a hit. It had across 1 million downloads. It wasn't like, like Pokemon Go was like Dookie, and then like Miitomo was like Kerplunk. For like if you're gonna do like Green Day comparisons, and I put, dude, Pokemon Go is literally taken off. Like,
yeah, let's save this for a Pokemon Go episode though. Let's not get too off topic.
Yeah, let's go back to
let's go back to Blink. We're seeing them in August 15th, I believe it is.
Yeah, we got a carpool.
Yeah,
August 14th,
whatever it is, that weekend, and pretty much almost everyone we know and hang out with is going.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it because I really want to see not just Blink again, but I want to see Blink with Skiba. Conway, Robbie, and Damien saw them in Pennsylvania, and they said they were awesome. Like, Skiba was great with them. It just worked out like really well. That got me more hyped.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like Damien's opinion. Conway and Robbie, actually Conway's opinion in most things is pretty good. It's the fact that Star Wars Episode 3 is his favorite Star Wars movie.
That, and he's a Boston Red Sox and Dallas Cowboys fan. Really bothers me.
Red Fox?
I said Red Sox. It just sounded messed up.
You sound like you had something in your mouth.
I glitched because the Pokemon Go servers are messed up, so it's like affecting my brain like that. Yeah, so I trust his opinion on some things, but his opinion is very, very negatively affected by those two sports teams.
Yeah, it's annoying because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's all right.
I guess so. But dude, all right, I want to play this lead to Bohemian Rhapsody, and this is why. Like, I hope they can literally rip this lead for their next album and just make a song out of it. It's that good, and I want to hear it.
Yeah, it's really damn good.
That's as much I'm going to play because
we don't want to get sued. We don't want to get our shit taken down.
Yeah. So, like, that lead is great. And
it is.
But I literally played half the song right there.
Yeah, it's a shame because it's wasted on a short song.
Oh.
Like, that, they could have made like a 2.5 minute song out of that. It would have been awesome.
Because you know what it sounds like? It sounds a lot like National Anthem by Less Than Jake. Did you ever listen to that song?
I would probably know it if I heard it.
It sounds very similar to that, and it's a 2-minute song, and it's the bass player that sings it, and it's one of the best Less Than Jake songs ever. And it's off their B-side. It's off one of their B-sides album. Mm-hmm. That sounds very similar to that song, and I'm like, dude, imagine Blink did something like that, and I feel like they missed that opportunity with this one.
Right.
But it's fine. It's
still entertaining, you know.
Yeah,
just,
I mean, like,
too short for my liking.
I'm not gonna sit in here and act like every other Blink album is perfect, because like I feel like really the only perfect album is Enema, even though it's not my favorite. Mm-hmm. That's like the only album where I'm like, all right, every song it can literally be memorable. You know, even Dude Ranch, which is like what people know for as far as like Blink became Blink. There's even some like decent, there's like whatever songs on that album,
right?
You know, but it's still better than most stuff. I mean, I'm a huge Blink fan. But like, yeah, like out of the 16 songs out of California, I mean, 14 of them or 13 of them are awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, you can't say that about most bands at all. And like, that just shows like, you know, Tom is, you know, started Angels and Airwaves and like loves writing music and everything, but it just I think it just shows that Mark can hold his own. Yeah, like he's a songwriter and he can write good music.
Yeah, and most of these songs were co-written by the producer. I think his name's Scott Feldman or Fedman. I might be saying that wrong. I always mess his name up, but yeah. So, and he's had a lot of experience. He's produced a shit ton of stuff that turned out well. So.
Yeah, they were in good hands. Top 3 for me, just to send it off, is She's Out of Her Mind, Cynical, and Teenage Satellites.
I would say Los Angeles, Sober San Diego.
Completely different. Mm-hmm. But those were great songs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I do enjoy your songs as well. So I think that's, you know... Unfortunately, we didn't get to have our plan come through with having a bunch of our friends on this, but
it's okay.
You know, we still got it done, and hopefully, you know, knock on wood, we have no more tech issues like that.
Yeah, that was so bad.
Thankfully, the party was good enough to make up for it. But do you expect a Live in the Middle Urinal and Awesome Sunday Show crossover? We are planning that. With them, and you know, hopefully when we do try that, we'll have no tech issues with that, especially. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let us know what your thoughts on the album are, what your favorite songs are, what songs you dislike, how you feel about Blink without Tom, how you feel about Blink with Matt.
We're excited for it.
Yeah, we're excited for it. I'm digging it. And you know, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Download on iTunes, rate us on iTunes and Podbean. Follow us on Twitter at Awesome Sun Show. At Rick Pat Mick on Twitter.
At Less Than Connor. Also, special shout outs since we're talking about music. Make sure you go follow Poeta on their fan page.
Yes.
They are probably coming back pretty soon on the show. I've been, you know, we're really good friends with Anthony, and then also too, like, and that was actually like a really good episode that we did with them.
Yeah, it's one of our most viewed and listened to.
Sooner or later, they'll probably be coming back. So make sure to go check out their Facebook page. It's Poeta. Poeta.
Yeah, and their website is poeta.us. I believe
Yes.
they're pretty much either Poeta NJ or Poeta US on pretty much every social media. So definitely follow them, listen to their shit, download their shit, and share that shit out of them.
Yeah.
Shit, more shit.
More shit.
All right, guys, thanks for listening.
Yeah, have a good one.